Yes, good afternoon, people. No, I've not been drinking, and yes, I'm a tad drunk. Wait, no, I've screwed that one up. Yes, I have been drinking, and no, I'm not drunk. I think that's the correct one, but anyway. There's a first time for everything, I guess, and so a weird one today. I'm going to do a response video to, myself, which seems kind of strange. In one of the last videos that I did, I was critical of Critical Drinker's take, yes, very funny, with a particular bit of commentary in his video on the South Park Panderverse episode. In fact, let's listen to it again.
Like I say, it's a classic example of South Park's ability to present both sides of an argument fairly, make fun of the most extreme and ridiculous elements, and suggest that maybe, just maybe, there's a sensible middle ground to be found. Screaming woke at everything with even a hint of diversity or progressive ideas is just as dumb and unproductive as trying to race and gender swap every single character in sight. What's interesting though is the reaction to what was actually a pretty fair and balanced episode, with both sides of the culture war instantly claiming it as their own. People on the right are like, yeah, we totally owned those woke libtards with this one, while people on the left seem to think, this whole thing was basically making fun of those right-wing chuds and they were just too stupid to see it. Honestly though, I see this as more of a victory for common sense and moderation than for any particular side. It's a win for the silent majority of normal people caught up in the middle who are tired of this endless culture war bullshit and just want some decent entertainment. Those are the people this episode is really meant to appeal to, and in that respect, it works perfectly.
Now, obviously, I'm never wrong. Always a helpful trait if you happen to take shots and explain yourself well. And whilst I still stand on my position with regards to his take, the fair few comments against him I thought were rather unfair and excessively harsh, and so I would like to defend the drinker and its take. Especially from this insipid notion that he's some kind of a grifter. Now, I've used this joke before, and I will do so again because it's still funny. The word grifter has been so overused and hollowed out of any meaning, it's like racism. Or woman. No one really knows what the hell it means anymore. Someone in my comment section wrote, it's come to mean anyone who disagrees with me, and yeah, that's pretty much it. May as well be the passive version of calling somebody a fascist at this point, let's be real. But if you actually listen to the first part of his take, before he talks about screaming woke at everything with a hint of diversity, he's right on the money. However, him going off the rails after that is what is going to catch your attention. It did mine, and I will happily admit to that. A classic case of the if you do good no one remembers, if you do bad no one forgets. Can be clean as a whistle, but the single blemish is what is going to catch the eye. Now, how one will view Drinker's comments on here depends on your mentality as the viewer, and his sort of role in the sphere that you might inhabit. If you believe in the saying, politics is downstream from culture, and you're heavily politically inclined, you're going to look at Drinker as a potential ally in your battle in the current political paradigm, fighting the message. You will come to look at him as a sort of weapon, and if he isn't wielding himself in a manner that you feel most effective for your righteous cause, you'll feel a sense of betrayal, which if the comment section is anything to go by, is a pretty dead-on description of the current situation. I'll give an example. Note when he says people in the middle. If you're politically inclined, what do you think people in the middle means? Centrists. And if you have half a brain, you despise centrists because they're nothing more than these pathetic spineless cowards who look for compromise. If the one side is absolute and never supposed to budge, but the other side is always on the attack, anyone who seeks to compromise is but a limp-wristed weakling who sides with the attacking side because they're too afraid to fight them, and so they just bend over with their rears in the air getting rammed. The only thing enlightened about a centrist is the whistling breeze emanating from their ever-enlarging assholes. Keep in mind though, Drinker is a critic and a writer. He is not a political entity. He just happens to reside in this sphere that's been infected by the curse of politics, and hence why people have the perspective on him that they do, assuming that he is far more effective in the political end of things than he really is or should be, and so disparaging him with political epithets is neither fair nor accurate. Denouncing him for one bad take sounds like a temperamental purity spiral. 'Tis the chucking out the baby with the bathwater, and I would advise against that. As Drinker said, people in the middle. In the cultural end of things, that group largely consists of the apolitical consumer. He just happens to plow his trade in a medium where people assume a political flavor to their cultural consumerism due to the technology that we have now. However, failed to realize that his chosen subject matter encompasses a consumer base far larger than just the digital space that we have on here. Remember, most people are not political animals. They don't care to get involved with it for civic purposes, let alone for their entertainment. However, due to social media and the stupid thing we call democracy, people are stuck in echo chambers, enclaves form, people are at each other's throats all the damn time, and Let's be honest here, shall we? These stupid petty conflicts are mostly in the comment sections on social media. If only because it's the only place where people can vent their frustrations without a Molotov cocktail being launched through someone's windshield. Bit of a double-edged sword, that one though. Might curb the violence in some way, but it's making everyone rather irritable, short-tempered, loss of an attention span, bordering on a learning disability, and seemingly a single offense away from throwing the Molotov cocktail away. Except this time it won't be used to loot a Gucci or Nike store. Well, at least I hope not anyway. I'm all for people enjoying entertainment, and yes, people are passionate about their hobbies and all of that, but really if the bollocks these companies are cranking out is universally renounced as bollocks, at times I feel we'd be better off praising superior art and leaving all bollocks where it belongs, hanging and gathering dust. Cheers for watching, and once again, I apologize for nothing.